or treat.
Trick or treat indeed, and boy do I have a treat for you. A treat of knowledge. Today I'm gonna go find out all about Pendle Hill and Pendle Witch Country with my trusty guide. Come on, let's go. My monster friend and I journeyed to Newchurch in Pendle. It was a tiny village of no more than 100 people, framed by a breathtaking scenic landscape. As soon as I arrived, I felt I was back in time. Apparently it has seen little change over the centuries. A slight cover of mist aided the ominous atmosphere.
Here we are in Newchurch in Pendle, the very epicentre of the Pendle Witch story. I'm standing by one of the most famous graves associated with the Pendle Witches, the grave of the Nutter family. One of the most famous witches associated with the trial was none other than the enigmatic Alice Nutter, a very brave lady, as you're about to find out. She was accused of murdering a gentleman called Henry Mitten of Roughlee, a village quite near here, along with a lady called Alison Devise and Demdike. She protested her innocence to the very, very end, but was found guilty of witchcraft by Roger Nowell, the local magistrate. She had met him 2 years previously on a land dispute charge. She'd won that land dispute charge fairly and squarely, and when Nowell saw her in her new predicament, he thought, marvellous, if I can incriminate this woman, I'll get my lands back. At that period of time, King James I of England was a very, very superstitious man. He believed that witches really existed, and therefore he wrote a book called Demonology. And the Demonology book was given to every magistrate in Great Britain for the sole purposes of looking for witches. Throughout the whole length of Great Britain, for some reason, this beautiful place, known as Newchurch in Pendle, stuck out like a sore thumb. And somewhere near here was a tower called Malkin Tower. And in that tower lived the Demdike, the Devise, the Chaddocks, and indeed the Redfern families. They were all found guilty of witchcraft and executed on the 20th of August 1612 at Lancaster in front of massive crowds, and then their bodies burnt. A witch's body has to be burnt to cast away all the evil. I'm sure a lot of us find this story very, very superstitious, and perhaps it is, although it is well documented. What we do know is that every time the snow has come to Pendle Hill, the last piece of snow to melt is always in the perfect shape of a white witch. And if you were to visit Pendle Hill on Halloween, well, Pendle Hill would look more like Wembley Stadium, because thousands and thousands and thousands of people from all over the world, all over the country, will converge here in the hope they will see a Pendle Witch.
Our next stop was a shop called Witches Galore, where the owner, Maureen Stopforth, told us of the Pendle Witch's effect on modern-day Lancashire.
The witch symbol you'll find all over Lancashire, particularly this area of Lancashire. There's an express bus service from Nelson to Manchester, and their fleet of buses are painted up, I don't know if you've seen them, with a big witch symbol on the side of the bus, and the service is called the Witch Way. Each of those buses has the name of one of the people tried at Lancaster Assizes, and I just wonder what those people would think if they came back. I mean, the majority of them were very poor peasants. What on earth would they think if they came back today and saw their name on a bus? The modern day witches that come here, the people that call themselves witches now, are what I believe the original Pendle witches were. They were herbalists. They dealt in, as they do today, in alternative healing, alternative remedies, you know, Reiki healing, crystal healing, aromatherapy, that sort of thing. And that's what I believe, that the so-called Pendle witches in 1612 were not evil, wicked people. They were simple country folk who made a penny or two by making herb potions and remedies, because that's all they would know about anyway. There wouldn't be doctors, there wouldn't be vets. If there were, they wouldn't be able to afford them anyway. They had to rely on their own knowledge of country herbs and preparations. I think they got a bit carried away with their own sense of importance, and I've no doubt that they were a bit naughty from time to time, but I don't believe that they were wicked, evil people.
Wow, it's been really frightening to hear about how the Pendle witches were treated. I know I won't be a witch for Halloween this year. Well, happy Halloween. Bye.